Check, 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 check. Just see if this stream is going. Man, boy, that's a lot of latency. I hear clunking. And, you know, for all I know, I'm using this reroute driver so it can start clicking and popping. Actually, that sounds pretty good. Okay, but what I can't do is, you know, before you could invite people, I don't think you can do that anymore. Save video, edit videos, follow me. No, I'm me. I don't need to follow me. How do I invite people to this video? Yeah, you know, the older version of Facebook, I could do that. I wonder if, can you switch back to the older version still right now? I don't know. It's just weird. It puts me into like third person. Something that's kind of bizarro. Let me check mine again. I'm gonna. So I can edit audience. No, that's not what I want to do. I can share it. I can start a watch party. I have no idea how that works. Let me see. What does it do? So how exactly does that work? Do I... I don't know. It says I started a watch party. Let's... I'm hosting a watch party. And it still doesn't seem to let me choose who my audience is. Oh yeah, here we go. Invite. So let's just see if this thing works. I invite the professionals so they can laugh at me. Really don't quite know what the watch party thing does. We'll find out. Just gonna click some people into here. Boy, there's tons. So I'm not really sure. I don't know if in the watch party it carries the videos across Restream or what. Actually, it'd be interesting to find out. Hey, Todd Nelson, what's up? Hopefully you can hear the audio here. I'm trying some new stuff that may or may not be that good of an idea. So we shall see. So that chat that you just typed, I don't know that it's going to get to Restream, so we're going to find that out in a second. It should be carrying over the Restream relay chat here, which I don't see. So maybe the watch party doesn't carry the Facebook chat. So, you know, really, I just want the regular Facebook video. And I have a feeling that if I'm doing the AIX DSP one, it would, oh, interesting. Oh, all right. Thank you. Good. So it doesn't look like the chat's getting carried across, and I also can't see my I can't actually see that I'm broadcasting this video. Thanks, OBS and Facebook and Restream. You guys have changed. Everything on me, so I should be able to see that I'm running a video, which I can't. Yeah, well, see, Restream chat can carry Facebook chat to YouTube and to Restream and everything else. But in order to invite anybody, I had to use the watch party thing. And now that I see my watch party, I can't actually see my video that I'm hosting, which is bizarro. I might be able to see it on my AXDSP page, but anyway, well, that sucks. I'll just watch the chats in here, and then the restream will show up if somebody chats from YouTube. Hopefully, anyway. Want me to stream what I can see on Discord so you can see what I can see? No need, but I was trying to figure out how to do restream on how to restream to Discord. But let me get this started. So I'm at home tonight, so I don't have my legit intro video, so I can't really sound legit and intro-y. I just want to check my this mic is pretty quiet, so I think I really need some more gain in here, but I don't want to torture you guys with that. So let me just turn it up a little bit. Let's see how that goes. Checkity check. And yeah, I'm probably going to be regretting that. Sure is getting the mid-range down. Okay. Yeah, of course that's louder than anything I ever say. So I better just start this before I torture anybody else. So welcome to dropping in at Pipeline Audio, number 70, and this is WASAPI with you. And the reason for that is that I'm at home tonight, and I'm trying to this isn't the same home setup I had with the Motu. This is just a Focusrite solo, which means that there's no loop back. And so since everybody's saying that WASAPI is so awesome now and we don't need ASIO anymore, I figured I'd use the WASAPI drivers in Reaper, and that would give us a way to loop back, or not loop back, but at least share with another app, because OBS can capture audio out. And, there's a chance that maybe Skype could with some sort of thing. I don't know. Hold on real quick. I want to see what our esteemed leader of the Pink Fairies is saying. If you want to see what I can see on Facebook, streaming shit, super easy on Discord. This is how we've been teaching people Elite. Yeah, that's how you guys are teaching me Elite. But yeah, I'll check that later. I was hoping it would be in the restream screen, but it's not. So anyway, not to harp on and on and on as we do about every single show about Interapp audio, but yeah, had the WASAPI worked, I could send out from Reaper using WASAPI drivers and use the audio capture out inside OBS, and then I'd been able to do smart things like that, and probably, like I said, find a way through Skype. Probably a virtual audio cable would have worked that way. You know the deal. I don't want to give up my low latency ASIO drivers just to do some things that should have been fixed 22 years ago. So anyway, I tried WASAPI, and it doesn't seem to let Reaper have it in shared mode if OBS or Chrome is open first. I was able to get it in shared that way, but I had to start Reaper first, and even then it was just crackling and popping all over the place, and it's like, holy crapsicles, man. It was 22 milliseconds in reported and 23 milliseconds out reported. No thank you. Shared mode is clicking and distorted. I switched to exclusive, less latency, but still clicking and glitching. The WASAPI settings in Reaper that you could type in, and that's when it looks like how you do it on Macs, and we're going to have a little rant about that in a second. They weren't reflected in the Focusrite control panel. So I was typing in 128, let's say, and the Focusrite control panel was still saying 256, for instance. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, let me not go off on a Mac tangent here. 0 in WASAPI buffer size and Reaper stops the clicks, but holy crap, the latency. You'd think, see, I don't even know what the buffer size means then. If it's still got to be using the Focusrite's buffer. I don't know. So, so yeah, I'm not using WASAPI here. I was hoping, you know, every year we'd hear that it's going to be better, but it still is not better. So I am trying reroute and the OBS ASIO driver. And as far as I can tell, it's actually working. That's what you're hearing right now. I'm actually, if you want to see, when I click the route button here in Reaper, the outputs for the master track are my main hardware out 1 and 2. That's the Focusrite Solo out 1 and 2. And the hardware, sorry. Well, that's weird. The other output is reroute 1 and reroute 2. And if I show you, watch this, is going to get recursive, so don't freak out, man. It's not a bad trip, man. Anyway, this audio capture source is using the OBS ASIO driver. The device is reroute ASIO 64. I'm going to say something about that in a second. But anyway, this seems to be working. And if it's not clicking and popping, then wow, that is a great fix. It's still not the ultimate fix. We still need a way to just easily get in between apps on Windows. It's still ridiculous that after 22 years or so, we still have this problem. But it looks like the OBS ASIO driver is working. If I'm coming through clear, which I hope I am, then that means that at least that issue is possibly fixed. It still seems like a kludge and a workaround. It scares the hell out of me. And I don't actually have a way of monitoring it, which is another terrifying thing. So I'm having to either click the button in Facebook. Let me see what happens when I do that. That actually sounds good, but that is an echoing, scary, latent mess. So let me pull the recursion off of there. So let's see. So that is reroute, the 64-bit version, mind you, going into OBS's ASIO driver. And before, OBS ASIO driver used to need a 32-bit driver. So you also had to install the 32-bit version of Reaper and use its reroute in order to get to OBS ASIO driver. But that doesn't seem to be anymore. It's seeing the x64 ASIO driver, and I don't even have Reaper 32 bits installed. And so I looked around the net and tried to figure this out. And what did I do? Please tell me. Oh yeah, here's my picture. So inside the OBS program files folder in Windows, in the OBS plugin 64 bits, there's an OBS ASIO plugin. Never mind that this is in the 32-bit program files folder. I have no idea why that is. Is there an OBS that installs in the 64-bit program files now? If somebody knows, let me know. Anyway, cross your fingers. I have no real way to monitor except for after the fact, and I can kind of click this thing in Facebook, and it seems to be working. Check it in YouTube, but I'm sure it's probably going to be the same. And, you know, the bummer is doing it this way, I can't really get the audio into Discord, just to OBS. I guess I could monitor... I guess I could set the OBS monitor out to a virtual audio cable, and then the virtual audio cable into Discord, but holy hell. Really hoping there's something way less painful and silly and convoluted to deal with that. So anyway, but I'm super glad that reroute ASIO is getting to OBS. That may give me a way to not need to blow 2 channels on loopback in the RME total mix, or you know, if you guys have some other form of loopback, this could fix that. So that'd be nice. But this is just so ridiculous that we're still dealing with Skype. Why don't you have ASIO? everybody else. You guys all suck, and you know it, and you deserve horrific Australian fires to descend upon your software servers or something. Or was that a threat, and now the FBI is going to come? I don't know. Anyways, you guys had 22 years. You had one job, and you blew it. All you guys with your non-ASIO apps, or don't run VST or whatever else. Okay. So, talk about the OS X stuff for a little bit. I need to do some round-trip latency tests between the core audio, like the generic core audio drivers, and the specific drivers for specific OS interfaces. So, for you doubters out there, here's the RME downloads. Driver for Windows, drivers for Mac OS X. I talked to Vin Kergliano, is that his name? You guys know who he is, DAW Bench, and he was saying, and we talked about this in a show before, these drivers are different. I assume they're far lower latency and far better performance than the generic Core 2 audio, or the core audio drivers. I refuse to believe for a millisecond that the Behringers and Focusrites and all that stuff get RME level performance on OS X just because of core audio. I don't believe that crap at all. But you know what? I need to go borrow a Mac and test some of this stuff. I got an RME interface. We can actually try it. And sure, actually one of these days I just got to get my own Mac. There's one sitting right here, but I don't know if it's new enough to do any of that. Okay. So let's see, the programming for musicians. I really like this course. Not being paid here. I actually bought this the second it came out. I had been talking to Matt Cat for a little while before that. But as soon as he offered this course, I tried to take it. I blew it. I suck. I cannot figure this stuff out. But it's still awesome. And actually, this is where we got some of our programmers from. So this is great stuff. The first 7 courses, it looks like, are free now. And I suckered my 2 brothers into taking this course. So let's see how that works out. But, the world needs more programmers. We really need more programmers. Hawaii especially needs programmers. I mean, that's just silly. We need tons. This is an awesome program. I think it's $400 for the full course later on. That's nothing compared to the tens of thousands of dollars you'd be paying to do this in a college course where you're not even going to get anywhere near this good or up to date of information. So, go check it out. If you have any interest in programming whatsoever, that is the place to be. Programming for musicians. Just type in programmingformusicians.com or just type it in Google. You'll find it. He's covering C++, but he's really covering it in the context of Juice. And if you don't know what Juice is, don't worry super much. It's just it's a framework for making it easier to do cross-platform and cross-application apps. So you don't have to make a new one for every single OS that you're targeting. Go check it out if you're at all interested in programming, and I hope you are. And if you have kids, I sure as hell hope that you are preparing them for the future. And that's one way you really should be doing it is, the world's going to be probably separated into those who can code and those who can't, or those who can code and those who work for them. How about that? Or those who can code and those who wash the cars of those who can code. Until, of course, robots get cheap enough where you don't even get that job. So, I hate to put this right after this, and it's not anything about him, but I'm really ranting all the time about these crazy megachurch looking alleged educational programs. They're mostly like recording courses and things like that. And really, there are just a big fat tool scam. And if you don't know what that is, if you ever seen, gone into depth on MLMs, multi-level marketing, there's this thing called tools, which is really just more classes you can take, or things that'll help you sell. It's not really the product that you're supposed to be selling. It's products that they sell to you in order to, that's where their money really comes from. And, we see so many things that get strung along through tool scams, like, oh no, just this one more course and I'll know this thing. I really don't like that stuff. I want to see that we're giving people what they're asking for. Give me 1 second here. I'm getting a phone call. Let me just turn that off. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, I've kind of lost my train of thought on that one. I'm just sick of the tool scams, and I'm sick of the perpetual subscription thing. And so, we're doing some stuff coming up where it would really make sense for us to do the subscription thing with our plugins, and I'm kind of scared to. So, I know some of you guys are doing okay with the subscription stuff. I don't really like to see it in the educational side of things, unless they're really offering more content and not just hype every month. Anyway, that's just my rant. I constantly get these ads running across my social media and YouTube and whatever else, and it's okay. Oh, so here we go. Somebody's asking a question. I'm going to answer. Sorry, I'm just having to type this out to somebody so they can see. I'm just gotta. Okay, so see, I'm in the watch party, and now how do I invite? Can I invite more people? I have to invite somebody. Wow, this is really not cool. Okay. So here's here. So I'm trying the new version of Facebook out, and I'm having a lot of trouble adding people and, using the video stuff in general. Let me just send this to, I just need to send something to somebody real quick. So, Jack asks, I was wondering, how can you transfer Reaper recording to other DAWs? Do you have to render the tracks? Since you should be telling me, because you're the young guy and you can Google and all that. There's tons of ways to share Reaper files with other DAWs. If you Google it, you'll see piles and piles and piles of ways. What I like to do is file, consolidate export tracks. And I'm not sure that I should really be clicking this while this is recording, but file, consolidate, export tracks, make a time selection of the area you want to export, and send that to a new folder someplace, and then copy that whole folder. That's a real good way to do it. You could render them all out into stems or something, but that would suck. That would be like using one of them crappy apps like Pro Tools or something. Ooh, I'm not supposed to say that. That would be like, that would be not taking advantage of the tool set that Reaper has. I would probably use the consolidate export tracks. There is a batch converter, but and there is render stems, and that's the way you would do that in, I'm not supposed to say lesser, right? And the way you would do it in other DAWs, but consolidate export tracks, and when that menu pops up, that's going to tell you how to do it. But let's just Google that real quick. Let's see. Export Reaper to other DAW. And how to export in Reaper from Dr. Mix. Wow, how did you get up to the top of that? Look at this, Pro Mix Academy, exporting a session in Reaper. Are you kidding me? What is Pro Mix Academy? Is this? I'm not allowed. I'm not saying anything. And shut up now. Pro Mix Academy. Let's see what they say. Well, of course you could do download the cheat sheet here. So does it not actually tell you? File, save project as. Copy all media into project directory. Yeah, you could do that, but yeah, that'd be better for another Reaper user. So they're saying to use the consolidation, highlight all the audio. Yeah, so they're talking about using consolidate, and then there's some kind of download the free exporting cheat sheet here. Listen, I'm going to click this, and if it shows up that this is one of those, like exactly what I was talking about, the whole tool scam, whatever, and takes you to some long-winded thing, you got to click a million things and download an email. Let's see. Yeah, see, there you go. Ready to get your free exporting a session Reaper cheat sheet? Step by step, blah, blah. Type in your email. Download the cheat sheet. Let's see. Can I just download it? Nope. This field is required. Got to send you my email. This is exactly what I was just talking about. Let's look at what else there is. That's actually the right answer, though. So Sound on Sound had something. Of course, the Reaper blog is going to have how to properly export multi-tracks for mixing. Look at that, Reaper blog. Reaper blog always has everything. Send a project to a mixing engineer in Reaper from Kenny. What's the best way to send a Reaper project files to a friend who has another DAW? Wow, that's back in 2013. Anyway, I'd do the consolidation. That's the way that it's probably going to be safest to use. How does that say content not found? God damn it. So how do I share this video with somebody? Like, you can't invite people anymore. And, oh my God. So he didn't hear any of that. So I can't invite. I can't see the video. Let me look. Maybe I can see it on the AIX DSP page. Let's see. Wow. This Facebook has changed the way these broadcasts work, and it's really a pain here. Let's see. Oh, but see, I can share it. Wow, but I can't share it with people. Oh man, this is so lame. Come on, Zuckerberg, you can do better than this. Anyway, so yeah, hopefully that helps somebody. That doesn't seem to have helped the person that was meant to help, because I can't apparently share the video. So whatever. This is so frustrating. Okay, so where were we? So that's how you consolidate and export tracks and send it to other people. And actually, didn't we just have a show on this not too long ago? Boy, somebody's not watching my show. Fired. Okay. So, of course, we're talking about inter-app routing again. That's why we did the WASAPI at the beginning of this thing. Let me just send this one more thing to this guy. Jeez, this is killing me. I'm just so frustrated. Like, see, I don't know if you know this stuff. So I'm just going to show this before I get back to the subject at hand. This is the watch party. My video no longer shows up. This thing right here. If I click on this, it doesn't seem to exist. Open video, new tab. Maybe it'll work this time. Oh yeah, it actually does. Interesting. The trouble is I can't, I can share it to my story. I can't invite people the way you used to do it. I was able to invite people at the very beginning of the watch party, but that's it. So I'm going to send, this, and hopefully this will work. And if it doesn't, then I have no idea. And I'm not gonna stress myself on it any longer. How do I get back to my watch party? I don't know. There we go. Okay. Yep, sorry. So I can see the chat in here. I can see the restream chat. This is so bogus and frustrating. I can't even. What is this? I can't even. You know, that old saying. Okay. So anyway, we're at interapp routing again. You know, sending audio, say, from Reaper to OBS, or Reaper to Skype, or Skype to Reaper, or Skype to something else. You know, you could of course do this with TeamSpeak, but again, the whole point of why I don't want to do that kind of thing is that you'd end up giving up your low latency ASIO drivers if you're on Windows. And you Mac guys, just hold on for a second. Now this is why Dante Via doesn't really do it for me. TeamSpeak or TeamViewer is not going to do it. Virtual audio cable, all these things require you to not use your ASIO drivers. So of course that's what we're doing with the reroute, and that seems to be working at least for OBS. I don't think it would quite work for Skype that way, because Skype can't capture your output, but it could capture the input. There's probably a way around that, but you know, you OS X guys keep claiming that right out of the box you can just record from Reaper into your video capture out app. I don't believe you. I watched people who say this kind of thing end up using RME's interfaces loopback function. I also see that there's something called Soundflower and Rogue Amoeba loopback. That seems like things you would need to have. I do believe that you can amalgamate, what do you call it, an aggregate driver. You can take a bunch of your audio devices and turn them into one audio interface. That's using the generic core audio drivers. I would assume that they're not going to quite be in sync, because I just can't believe that every device has the same exact latency under OS X, because they sure are wildly different in Windows, at least under ASIO. You know, I see you guys using Soundflower with ScreenFlow, so I don't want to hear it again about the OS X can magically do this stuff. Well, I've been going on for a while, haven't I? Oh, hasn't been that long. Sorry. So Audio Assault released a new. Where is it? Yeah, Audio Assault released new AIR impulse rack. You know, it's an impulse loader, and it's got a variety of effects that you can I think you can just mix and match. You just drag them in, and kind of like ToneLib or Revolver, and he has some good stuff in there. I'm hoping that this is how Reamp is going to be, where you can just grab these different effects and just put them in any order you like. That's something that really was cool about Revolver, and I know some of these other ones you can do the same kind of thing. Not quite in Amplitude. You can rearrange things in Amplitude, but this looks good. This looks real smart. It's $10 right now from Audio Assault, and I guess if you don't buy that, you're crazy. So yeah, see, Todd Nelson saying it came right up, but I'm on old Facebook. Looks like I'll stay on old. I didn't even know I had a choice. How do I go back to old Facebook? Anyway, go check out Audio Assault and their AIR Air whatever impulse rack pack. There's a video on it. It's using very little CPU and real-time CPU. It's looking pretty good. So go check it out. Now, speaking of Reamp, hopefully we're going to be seeing that pretty soon. And in Drama Llama news, Alex kind of had a little scandal going there. The way he's doing amp profiling the same way that there's some other people doing similar things. You run a test file through an amp or through whatever, and then capture that, and then whatever your black box is doing, you DSP that results to try and get that output from that input. Given that you had the exact input and now you have the output, you can theoretically figure out how that happened. I have no idea how that can happen dynamically. Of course, we know that this can happen with impulses tone-wise, but seems to capture the distortion as well, and that's what people claim about things like the Kempers and stuff. And as far as I know, and I'm putting this together based on trusted sources, somebody ran the file through their amp, and Audio Assault made a plugin based on it. And maybe I can get him to weigh in here. I'm hoping I'm getting this right. So he ran, just like you get somebody to run an impulse through a reverb or whatever. He ran it through the amp, and now after he's made a product that it's an older product that he had. I don't even know if it's up on his product list anymore. I don't see it. He made a product, kind of a proof of concept based on that recording, and that would be like you get impulses from everybody, and you package your product. But I guess whoever did that is withdrawing permission to use that, and that's fine. I don't really have a problem with that. This is probably one of those things where you probably got to get this stuff figured out ahead of time. But the next part is silly. Obviously, if you really want that amp, we just put out a call for whoever owns one of those amplifiers. So let's run it through there and just take care of this. So you can give the guy or you can stop using the other guy's file. That's what he wants. But you can still have this amp. And apparently, now this is going to be real hearsay, but apparently the manufacturer of that amp, word reached him about this. I'm not 100% positive, and I don't think he wanted Audio Assault to do this. Now, most amp companies out there that I see, they love this. Man, this just sells amps. I mean, you keep ending up playing with this same model over and over. Maybe when I go to play live, I'm going to just go buy a real one. And if not, it's getting your words out there, and it's prestige. But it's your intellectual property, I suppose you could say that. But chances are that amplifier is a mod of an existing amplifier. So if you really want to go down that road, that sounds scary to me. And I'm not going to tell you how to run your business into the ground, because I do that all on my own. But I would. If I owned one of these companies, I would be asking, how many do you want? What different kind of variations can I do? And I would be making those recordings for them all day long. But, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and we'll just move around that one. What was really cool was to see so much of the internet, it's got to be cool to him. Seeing so many people resharing that thing. If you have this amp, can you please get a hold of us so you can do this re-recording? And man, that thing got shared a bajillion times. At least mine did, and I saw other people asking it too. So Audio Assault, you got a lot of fans out there, and I know who you are. I never heard of that amp company before, and maybe that's how it's going to stay. So. It's like, how many products in the early days were made using my impulses. I never freaked out about it. I was like, oh, cool. And most of them didn't give me credit. I didn't even ask for it. So, I don't know, whatever. You want to be like that, then be like that. You don't get a seat at the table. That's all. That's the price you pay, sadly. I would rather have that seat at the table. Okay. And, I don't know if you remember years ago, I got in a kind of a ugly spat across the internet when an IP squatter took pipelineaudio.com, which is why everything is pipelineaudio.net at this point. I think I'd like to have my .com back, but I don't really make any money off the site, and I kind of don't care. But somebody was trying to sell it to me today, or over the last couple of weeks. I think it's a fake. It's like, I forget the name of it. It seems like it's some scammers, but yeah, trying to sell me my own domain name. You guys suck. If anybody deserves pipelineaudio.com, it's me. Whatever. You guys can go suck it. And for our vaporware watch, I see people talking about Luna. I don't know if anybody's actually using it. I don't know if it's a force to be reckoned with. I know that I'm not going to buy a UAD or a UA dongle in order to run a DAW. That sounds silly and limiting. But, it sure looks pretty. I'll tell you that. To me, anyway. I know a lot of you guys don't like the skeuomorphic stuff, but I love it. It looks awesome to me. Now, of course, we had to check on their other vaporware watch guy, and that was the Neural Quad Cortex, and it still says pre-order. So the first 1,000 pre-orders have been sold out. They expect to ship these by November 2020. Well, maybe. It looks like it's cool. Looks really cool. I don't believe that every single time a new amp modeling product comes out, you know what the story is every single time. Oh, this is the one. Now it actually sounds exactly like the thing. And, bull. And who cares? Who says that some circuit design made in the Jim Crow era is the be-all, end-all and can't be topped? I just want a good sounding amp. I want an amp that I like the sound of. I don't care if it sounds like, the one tube that was slightly biased a tiny bit hotter and came out of a radio from a 1963 Missile Command Center. I don't care about any of that. Just, you guys are crazy with your hype. But this thing looks cool, so it looks powerful as well. So hopefully that's gonna come out. So the other thing was the Pod Go, and there was a claim that it was pretty much like the Helix, but it was missing a DSP block. And I didn't know if that meant you couldn't run as many things, or if it was actually missing some effects that you could have in the Helix that you couldn't have in the Pod Go. And what I really thought, I was almost sure that's going to be the Harmony, right? But when I popped open the manual here, in the pitch sync synth models, they have a Digitech Whammy, Eventide H3000 says twin harmony based on Eventide H3000. Simple pitch, dual pitch. Now I'm assuming that simple pitch and dual pitch are different than harmonies. And there was another one, smart harmony. I assume that a harmonizer means that it's going to stay in key. I don't know why there'd be a twin harmony and a smart harmony, but I'm hoping that these simple pitch and dual pitch are chromatic pitch shifters, while the smart harmony and dual harmony are actual harmonizers with where you do specify the key in the interval and it stays in the key. So that's looking good. What's kind of a bummer is they originally they had said, oh, there'll be an editor that you can use, and apparently there is. It's right here. Let me pull that up. And notice no device connected. There's nothing I can do. So there doesn't seem to be an offline mode to this editor. So sorry. Let me just check. This is a phone call. I'm sorry. Oh no, that just went away. Oh, here it comes again. Sorry. All right, sorry about that. One of my friends was slightly run over while riding his bike, and he's trying to figure out what to do about it. Anyways, so line 6 had said there's no way to do the offline editor here, or how to run the editor offline. So that kind of sucks. That's a bummer. I was hoping I'd figure it all out from there, but I swear the Helix one, you got the VST plugin at least, and then I think you can export the VST, the settings in your VST into the actual Helix unit. I wonder if you can't do that with the PodGo. I guess you can't. That's kind of a bummer. So one more thing. Oh, yeah, I wonder if the auto engage works for the wah. I think it does on the Helix, so it probably would on this thing. And if you guys know, I use Restream. How can I get Restream to Discord? I know I could screen share, and I really don't want to make a bunch of parallel internet sends. I doubt I have the bandwidth for it. So let me know if there's any way to send from Restream to Discord. I don't see that there is, but. And then the last thing, we have some really good lucks with the Behringer XM8500 mics. We are insisting that everybody who uses a mic at our school, or dynamic mics for practicing or for lessons, own their own dynamic mic because of the you know what that I can't say, or YouTube and Facebook will jump all over me. But there is a disease going around that we don't want to spread. And I don't want people using the same mics as each other. So we were using the Behringer XM8500s, and they were working great, and much to the chagrin of all the Behringer haters out there. Well, you actually can put me in there sometimes. So, but they were working real good. But Guitar Center doesn't seem to have them, and I'm looking for something that Guitar Center does have that's going to have somewhere near the same price and performance ratio. I saw some CAD D32s, and there was some kind of AKG, but they both came in 3-packs, and they really came out to be cheaper than the XM8500. So I don't know if they're just complete crap, but what do you say? I don't want things with on and off switches on them. They will bother the people that are going to be using them. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna. That's going to be it. I'll see you guys next week, and I sure shouldn't have hit stop on that record. I screwed up. I'll see you guys next week.